Hi, my name's Rob MacKillop. I started looking at Mickey Baker's jazz book when I was a teenager. I didn't really understand it then. I understand it more now. And I thought it'd be a good idea to let some younger people who are approaching this book for the first time, or even older people who are approaching the book for the first time, to hear some of the examples. Because it's one of the most influential books in jazz guitar history. In the 20th century. And I think it's still relevant to the 21st century, especially for those people who like to do older style jazz. Today we have much hipper chords and colours, extensions and so on, and modes and all sorts of things. But this is really from the 1950s, early 60s, maybe even 40s style jazz would do. And Mickey Baker was one of the main session players for the day. And his book is very, very interesting. It's a great introduction to jazz chords, but I also think jazz soloing as well. So we'll be looking at that too. So here I'm going to give a random selection of lessons rather than do the whole book, which would take too many videos. So here we have on page 2, lesson 2, page 3 rather, a sequence which goes like this: G major, G major 7, G major 6, G major 7th, and then you do that chromatically up the fretboard. You got to be able to mute the strings you're not holding down. For instance, the G major 7th has the 6th string, the 4th string, the 3rd and 2nd. And the other 2 strings are not played with this hand, the right hand, but they are strummed. So you got to be able to mute your the strings that are not used. And that means collapsing your fingers a little bit to rest slightly and gently on the strings you don't want to sound. So when you hear a chord which only has 4 notes, you can still strum across all 6 strings. So that was the first exercise. The second one is G major 7 to G6, all the way up the fretboard. So on. And then he does A minor 7th to A minor 6th, very important chord shapes. And he uses this very often in place of a D7th chord. When you see a D7th in the music, Mickey very often goes from A minor 7th to A minor 6th. Up the fretboard. And you continue all the way up to F minor 7, 6. And then they combine the 4 chords. So we have G major 7 to 6, A minor 7 to 6, and then it goes up chromatically. So on, up the fretboard. The second bottom line on page 3, he introduces a new chord. We start with A minor 7 to 6, and then we have the wonderfully titled D13 flat 5 flat 9. You get this chord where you're muffling the 4th string, muting the 4th string. And these 4 chords would eventually go to G major 7th. Okay, but he moves that again chromatically up the fretboard. So on. And now we have beautiful sequence which goes G major 7th, A13th, flat 9. It's a beautiful chord, one of my favourites. So A minor 7th, D13 flat 9. It's nice to pick this separately. That goes up chromatically, up the fretboard. So, all the way up. That's the end of the first Mickey Baker video.